Malami Uzodinma working against Kanu's release. This according to IPOB. The indigenous people of Biafra IPOB has accused Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma of conspiring with the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, against the release of its leader Nnamdi Kanu. The group alleged that Uzodinma advised federal government against Kanu's release. In a statement by its Media and Publicity Secretary, Emma Powerful, the group condemned Southeast Governor's decision to form another security outfit instead of supporting its security outfit, Eastern Security Network, ESN. It regretted that the governor's insistence on forming Ebubago militias later turned themselves into killer squads. The group assured that Kanu, if released, would assist in stopping the prevailing insecurity in the region. The statement reads in part, "The intelligence reports available to our authorities said that Hope Uzodinma advised the federal government not to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We want to assure the public that once our leader is released, he will help to stop the criminality going on in all the troubled zones in Biafra, especially in Imo State. People should ask Hope Uzodinma why is he afraid of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's unconditional release from DSS custody. It is clear to all and sundry that once our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu regains his freedom, many sponsored criminalities going on in the East will stop because he is the man of all our people. Our people respect him so much. Malami is ignorant of the law." This according to IPOB. Buhari can't run Nigeria from UK, Edwin Clarke says. It says president should hand over power to VP Osibanjo. Elder statesman and First Republic Federal Commissioner for Information, Edwin Clarke, on Tuesday slammed the President Major General Buhari for jetting to United Kingdom for medical treatment without handing over power to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Buhari should tell Nigerians the sickness he is suffering, he said. According to him, Buhari should comply with the Constitution and do the needful in line with global best practices because he cannot run Nigeria from abroad. Clarke, who said this during a press conference in Abuja, said as president, he should inform Nigerians about whatever ailment he had been suffering from. He said the Supreme Court should be approached to seek interpretation of what Buhari had been doing without telling Nigeria the details of his health status. He said Nigeria belongs to all of us. We are not running a banana republic. Buhari is taking Nigerians for a ride. He doesn't have the right to jet out to London without handing over power to the vice president in line with the constitution. At 95 years old, my group has seen enough of this country for more than 70 years. Nigeria is bleeding and only God knows how much of taxpayers' money must have been spent by the president on his health. It is arrogance for Buhari to think he can govern Nigeria from abroad. He should hand over power to Osibanjo, Clarke stated. We don't want grazing reserves in Southeast, Ohaneze replies Miyetti Allah. The Ohaneze Ndibo worldwide on Monday rubbished the resolutions of Miyetti Allah Kauta Hore on the need for grazing reserves in southeastern part of the country. Ohaneze described the grazing reserves demand by Miyetti Allah as a sinister move that threatens national security and peace. The Secretary General for Ohaneze, Okechukwu Isuguzoro, said the demand was unreasonable, unrealistic, and hallucinations of daydreamers. A statement by Isuguzoro said the Fulani group should respect the ban on open grazing and cattle routes by southern governors. Isuguzoro said cattle rearing and businesses all over the world remain an individual enterprise and private business like other people who are in businesses of garments, mechanics, and food vendors. The use of threats of violence to give conditions for peace shows that the Fulani organization indirectly indicted themselves for being responsible for the crisis associated with farmers and herders across the country. Ndibo has responded that the perceived demands for 415 grazing reserves across the country has sinister and wicked motives aimed at fueling the disintegration of the country and land grabbing against the indigenous people. According to Ohaneze, it's a threat to national security and peace. There are no grazing routes and lands for grazing reserves in Southeast. The Southeast governor's ban on conveyance of cattle by foot is still effective in Southeast, and Mieti Allah should abide by the decisions of Ndibo not to accede lands for grazing reserves. On the demand for the Ministry of Nomadic Affairs, with a mandate to broaden educational opportunities and address the pastoral challenges, Isiguro said, it is as a prerogative of the president to do so, but there is no need for irrational duplications of ministries. The Ministry of Education and Humanitarian Affairs are headed by Northerners. If there are challenges with Mieti Allah, they should seek the help of the two Northern ministers. For now, there is no reason why there should be a Ministry of Nomadic Affairs or attempt to coerce federal government to create one. It is quite amazing. First, let's start with the claim by IPOB that Hope Uzodinma is among those hindering the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Well, Ihedioha has also pointed accusing fingers at Hope Uzodinma. They were trading blames on who said Nnamdi Kanu should not be released. And Ihedioha said, who should be afraid of Nnamdi Kanu? After all, a majority of IPOB folks believed in Ihedioha's governorship. They opposed Uzodinma's governorship. So, if there is anyone that should be afraid of Nnamdi Kanu being released, it should be Hope Uzodinma. And now IPOB is pointing accusing finger again that Uzodinma, there was a letter that was forwarded after the appeal court judgment ruling that Nnamdi Kanu should be released. There was a letter that was released, and it was said to have come from Hope Uzodinma asking the federal government not to free Nnamdi Kanu. So now IPOB again is pointing fingers at Hope Uzodinma. What do you think? Now, concerning Buhari leaving the country, and it said it is constitutional for him to hand over to his vice, Osibanjo, but he didn't. And if you check that out, you will realize somehow, if he didn't hand over to Osibanjo, we are being ruled right now that Buhari is out. We are being ruled by Buhari's chief of staff. Because Osibanjo will have to book appointment to even get to the presidential office. So Nigeria is in the hands of Buhari's chief of staff right now. Some people are saying it's not Buhari, whether it's Buhari or not, but the person in charge who is holding power right now is Buhari's chief of staff. He dictates what happened. Certainly, because he is for you to see Buhari, you have to go through that guy. So whatever he passes as directives from Buhari, saying Buhari did, made this to be so, Buhari gave this order, will be obeyed. Buhari is not around now. In a country where things works, it is supposed to be, if Buhari is out of the country, every power rests on the VP, Osibanjo, the vice, to, the power of overseeing, being at helms of affair, controlling the country. It should be at Osibanjo's, it should rest on his shoulders. But as it is now, it is, since he didn't hand over, it's like he's still there, even while he's out. So somehow his chief of staff is the one in charge of Nigeria right now. So, elder statesman Edwin Clarke said, "We have seen so much." At 95, he said, "We are tired of what we have been seeing for the past 70 years. Things are not in order. You go, you will not hand over, and you're going to spend 2 weeks. Where is it done?" And as for the Mieti Allah story, we have had so much. How can you get 415 reserves? And you are reminded by Ohaneze that your business, cattle rearing business, is like every other business. It's not a federal government business. It's an individual business. It's not a government business. Even though you have your man at the top, uh, you don't expect to be given certain attention more than any other business. And most businesses everywhere pay for shops, they rent shops, they pay for it, they rent space for the business. So I think if you want any space, you rent for your business too, you pay for it. I don't know why the government should be, as if it's a government business to rear cattle and make allocations for this, allocations for this. Cattle rearing is like every other business. You sell your cattle, you make your money. So I don't know why do you people are trying to make it as if as if it's the business of the federal government. How can you say 415 grazing reserves? If you take 415 grazing reserves, what is remaining of Nigeria? And by the way, in the north, where most of you come from, or most of you reside, there are many lands there, empty lands, empty farmlands that you can occupy. Southeast is a small space, and you can already see that on the map. We don't even have much space to live, not to talk of giving out some for grazing reserve. We'll be left with nothing. So you have more space in the north. Except you want to make trouble. I don't see why you will have reserves in our place, in those tiny places. There are states in the north that are bigger than the entire southeast. So, based on your demands, we are feeling you don't want the land. You want to occupy, you want to make trouble. If not, there are a lot of land. You travel as far as Sokoto and you cross almost some of the places you travel for like 1 hour without sighting people, but vast land with grassland and many of these. And it's so in most part of the north. And you want grazing reserves in the southeast. Anyway, viewers, add your comment, tell us what you think about the stories we share. We draw the curtain on this one for now. I remain Uzo Oji. Bye-bye.